Hello there, and thank you for waking up with Wesley. I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams, and it is the Monday after Easter Sunday. Hopefully you all had an enjoyable Easter weekend, perhaps with family and friends. And as we gear up for today, one thing's for sure, we're sticking to the status quo. There's not going to be any change as far as the warmth and the humidity, but there could be a change in the rain chance. So that's what we'll take a look at today. Fortunately, looks like the chances for rain are not going to be so high that everyone sees rain, but some of us could. So let's take a look at what to expect going into your Monday after Easter Sunday. So first of all, some rain is possible today. In fact, some of you already saw rain earlier this morning. That was in places like western Harrison County, eastern Hancock County, very close to Dido, and basically on the Hancock County line. Speaking of Hancock County, you're looking live at the Silver Slipper Cam this morning. A little sunshine, a few clouds as well. We take a look over in Gulfport, plenty of sun there by the beachfront near the Hancock Whitney Tower facing to the west, very close to the Island View Casino there. Switch it on over to Biloxi. This is also facing west. Looks like plenty of sunshine to me in that particular view. It looks actually kind of pretty. Let's see if I can dial in to our tower cam controls and see if I can zoom that camera in, because it does look very nice. Temperature there, 76 degrees. There probably were plenty of people out on the beach this weekend, as we had some pretty nice conditions there. And those will continue right on into today. So we're at the controls of the camera. We're going to zoom it in. Everyone strap on your seatbelt, your streaming seatbelt, and we're going to zoom right on into the Biloxi Lighthouse, where the sun is still shining pretty brightly this morning despite some clouds. There we go. There's that zoom in. And there's not enough wind to shake the camera much, so what do you say we zoom in just a smidge more? We'll take an even tighter zoom of that view to get even more detail on the screen. We do, of course, have some folks out on the roads this morning, off to work, off to school, the day after the holiday, or maybe you were able to take Monday off. And that gives you a nice opportunity to ease back into the upcoming week. But there's that much more zoomed in view, very beautiful view. I wish that we could keep it this beautiful, but I do think we are going to get a decent amount of cloud cover at times today, so don't be caught off guard by that, and those clouds could produce some raindrops in the area. Let's explain why. So in order to do that, let's take a look at the wind. Which way is the wind coming from? It's coming from the Gulf. So with those winds coming in off the Gulf, we're seeing them at about 5 to 10 miles per hour along our coastline. And that wind from the Gulf is pulling in warm air. So our temperatures here along the coast finding mid-70s in the morning hours. So that is certainly warmer than you would expect this time of year. We can even take a look at the low temperatures that we saw this morning so far. And the numbers that we pulled out were basically in the 70s. Keep in mind, in late April, you typically have a morning low temperature of about 60. So we were very far from that. And I don't think we're going to see any mornings that cool. I don't think we're going to see mornings around 60 for quite some time. There's not going to be much of a change to our pattern here. So when we're talking about temperatures, there's another number to talk about. That's the dew point number. That tells you how much moisture is in the air. The higher the dew point, the muggier it feels. The lower the dew point number, the drier it feels. And last week we had some dew points that were pretty dry in the 50s and 40s, but now, yeah, those numbers have come up into the 70s. So it's at the top of our dew point scale. You know, it's right up there, 70 plus dew points. That's what our numbers are showing. So it's got that kind of tropical feel as we go into the upcoming week. There won't be much change from that. And with that much moisture in the air, that makes it a little bit easier for showers to pop up. That's exactly what we're finding this morning. I'm keeping a close eye on a couple of areas that have seen rain. If we specifically talk about our Mississippi coast, we can see Oops, zoomed in a little bit too much there, but we can see that there's not much rain this morning in our 6 southernmost counties. However, there were some showers a little bit earlier this morning. Let's rewind the first alert radar back over the last 6 hours, and let's see if we can get my timestamp to cooperate with me as we take a trip back through time to show you where it rained this morning. So now we've got the timestamp, and we can see there may have actually been a few showers in Jackson County over the last hour based off of what we were seeing on the radar map. Trying to make sure we are dialed into the Mobile radar site. We are. And as we rewind through the 7 o'clock hour, there they were. Look at those little bitty rain showers there near Escatawpa. We're talking about this area, of course, right here in Jackson County. And you can see during the 6 o'clock hour, just a few of those popped up and developed near I-10, or a few of them near Pascagoula too. They all rolled toward the north. So for some of you, you've already seen a little pop-up rain shower today. It didn't last very long. That was just one of them. There was another one earlier this morning that we tracked during Good Morning Mississippi. That one produced a downpour near the Hancock-Harrison County line in this area here. So watch that zone that I just circled. We'll rewind a little bit earlier in the morning to about 6 or 5 in the morning, and there it's coming down. This is rewinding, so the motion is reversed. But now we'll put it in the forward motion. And you can see about 5:20 this morning, had that one shower there to the northeast of Diamond Head, and that moved north up the county line. And there were some places very close to Dido that got a bit of a brief downpour. We can zoom in. Dido will pop up on the map there, and rewind just a little bit, yeah, right there, 5:40 a.m. So that yellow and orange and red color there indicating a bit of a brief downpour that some people might have had. Maybe it surprised you, but there shouldn't be much surprise. The chance for rain is not 0% today. So that's something that we'll be monitoring for you on this Monday, that chance that is still not at 0. Now, it's not as much as the folks that are in northern Mississippi, because we take you up there and it is a big washout from Tupelo this morning. Wow, they're getting really heavy rain, and they're also seeing some thunderstorms too with that. But I am curious about this little area that's just off the coast of Louisiana, because as you can see, it has in recent hours kind of popped up with a little shower and really thunderstorm there. And based on the motion of that, it looks like it could generally come toward the north. If it doesn't fall apart, maybe some of us could get some of that rain before noon today on parts of the Mississippi coast, maybe closer to Hancock and Harrison counties. So if you're out and about for the next 3 or 4 hours, anywhere between Waveland Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian Long Beach, Gulfport Biloxi, tote your umbrella. Keep your raincoat with you this morning in case some of that rain tries to move northward toward our coast. Our models haven't really been able to catch on to that one shower just yet because it's just recently developed, but I'm sure when we get new information, they might be able to show a better projection of exactly where we'll see that rain winding up. As a quick check on the rest of the current conditions as of 8:38 a.m. Monday, 70s, wind from the Gulf. The reason for the wind from the Gulf is, well, partially because there's a low pressure located well north of us, and that's helping the counterclockwise circulation around this low pressure system here is helping to pull warm air northward from the Gulf right on top of the deep south. Now, what also is happening, the counterclockwise motion around the back end of that low pressure is helping to pull some cooler air down from Canada and push a cold front. But that cooler air is never going to be able to reach us all the way on the coast because there's a blocking high pressure. And so that cool front is only part of it is only moving. The part that is located right here, that's the part of the cool front that's actually moving to the east because it's getting the push of cool air behind it. But way down here, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, there's no cool push behind the front. So the front actually just stalls there and you get no motion. And you can see there's a lot of juicy air ahead of that front. That's why it's making it easy for rain to develop, because you are tapping into that Gulf air rolling right toward that frontal boundary. We can show you the satellite and first alert radar in motion. It's very easy to see where that low pressure circulation is located. You can see the swirl of clouds and rain in areas near Wisconsin and Michigan. And it's so cold up there that some of the rain is changing over to snow near southern Canada. But notice, I want you to, let's pause the radar, drag it back 12 hours, and look at the position of the front 12 hours ago on Sunday night. The front was located in East Missouri, East Arkansas, that portion of it at least. Now let's fast forward to now. And look, it has moved. The new location of that front as of 8 a.m. Monday, it's now located in Kentucky and Middle Tennessee. So that part of the front has moved over the last 12 hours. But what about the other part down here closer to the coast? Let's do the same thing. So let's rewind the radar back to 8 p.m. Sunday, and we can track the front located in East Texas. All right, now let's advance it 12 hours to 8 a.m. Sunday, and yeah, very little motion. The front is basically still located right where it was 12 hours ago there. So that means that that part of the front down in the southern flank of the front near Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, it's stalling, and you don't have much forward motion with the rain. So some of these areas might get the rain piling up, leading to a low risk of flooding today in parts of Texas, Louisiana, North Mississippi. And you can also get some pop-up storms too. These are going to pop up over the southern part of the state, and they're going to be moving toward the north. You'll watch that motion heading into this afternoon, and you'll notice that they get into the middle of Mississippi. There's a green highlighted area there too. The Storm Prediction Center monitoring the risk of strong to severe storms. This does officially clip into parts of Pearl River County and just to the north of Stone County. But I think the best risk is going to be north of us by the state capital. That's where Jackson could see some strong to severe storms heading into parts of Monday as well as Monday evening. Now, over the next 3 days, it's important to understand that while some of us are going to see rain, all of us are not going to see rain. So the coverage is going to be kind of hit or miss. And today, for Monday, may be the best potential lining up near Pearl River County, near Poplarville and Picayune. For tomorrow, maybe the best coverage winding up between Biloxi, Ocean Springs, Goshen, Pascagoula. And then on Wednesday, maybe the best coverage lining up for areas generally north of Interstate 10, closer to Saucher, Wiggins, Lucedale, Poplarville. So we'll see who gets rain out of this, but the chances are there for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, I think beyond Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get to see those chances coming down, and they'll decrease by the weekend. You can see that 20% coming up on this coming Saturday and Sunday. So that will be perhaps a decrease for you, but that will allow the temperature to come up too. You can see those highs getting into the mid 80s at times by the weekend. And while that is the 7-day forecast for the coast, we do have a 7-day forecast for the inland areas, or a 10-day forecast for the inland areas too. And we can show you that right here. I think some of our inland areas are going to come close to 90 degrees at some point over the next 10 days. That's, you know, places north of I-10, like Wiggins, for example, Poplarville, Lucedale, Van Cleve, the Kill, Saucher. There you can see highs from Sunday to next Monday to next Tuesday, only a degree or two away from 90 for those inland areas north of I-10. Meanwhile, down closer to the coast, we're looking at lower 80s, but notice there's no significant cool downs in any part of South Mississippi over the next 10 days. So we got to get used to the warmth and the humidity. We could be stuck with it from now through the rest of the summer season, maybe not getting another big cool down until we get closer to fall or winter later this year. Well, that'll do it for this Monday edition of Waking Up with Wesley. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Maybe you catch a rain shower today. Don't forget your umbrella as you head out the door. Take care. We'll see you again in the next video.